You will have heard his piano riffs countless times. They've shaped the sound of soul, pop, and R&B. He's played on so many records with Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, Smokey Robinson, and the Jackson 5. And his signature groove, feel, and voicings make so many songs unforgettable. Yet he rarely got the recognition he deserved. The player I'm talking about? Clarence McDonald. And in this video, I'm breaking down 3 of his greatest grooves to show you why he was such an incredible musician and how you can bring some of his magic to your own playing. Let's do it. Clarence McDonald was born in Los Angeles in 1945 and was a natural musician from an early age. He started on saxophone and trombone, but was drawn to the piano. By his teens, he was already playing in jazz clubs, working with top musicians while still in school. He became the go-to session player, recording for so many artists like Barbra Streisand, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Ray Charles, and Aretha Franklin, always finding the perfect balance between supporting the melody and adding his own expressive touch. He really is a piano icon. Okay, this is probably the most famous groove that Clarence played, right? This is, of course, Best of My Love by The Emotions. It was released in 1977 off their album Rejoice. Such a great song. I absolutely love this one. It's such a fun groove to play. Let's break down exactly what is going on here. So we're in the key of C. There's our C major scale. And the interesting thing about this groove is that it doesn't start on chord 1. So we're actually starting on chord 4 here, which in the key of C is an F chord. You can see I've got a root position triad in my right hand, and then those beefy octaves in my left hand. We're going to be using octaves all the way through here, right? This is how the groove goes. So I'll break it down for you slowly. We go from F to C over E, that inversion. Then we go to a D minor 7, and then to a C, and then we walk up, okay? So we actually go at the end there, we go C, D minor 7, C over E. We essentially reverse what we've just done. I'll play the whole thing through. That's the first half of the groove, okay? In time, it would sound like this. And then the second half is very slightly different. It kind of uses the same elements, but just tweaks things a little bit. So check it out. This is what it sounds like. It's got like a double walk up in there, okay? I'll show you where that happens. So I'll just break it down. It goes F, C over E, to D minor, but you then walk up here, and then you go to the C, and walk up there. Okay, there's all our chords. I'll just play it for you slowly so you can check it out. There's a lot in this one. It's kind of such a great groove. I love those little walk-ups. They work so well. And as always, to help you get all of these grooves into your playing, I've put together a free PDF lesson book. It's got the sheet music and notation for every groove I'm going to show you. Go ahead and check it out. The link to download that is in the video description. It's completely free. So there are some things that Clarence does here when he's playing this groove that just give it that extra sparkle, make it sound so much better. They're kind of tiny details, but they work so well. Let me show you a couple of them. So this is the first thing he does. You can see that first chord, he just splits the chord. So he goes from the second, which is a G on the F chord, up to the third, which is an A. Really quick. Blink and you miss it, but it just gives it a little bit more character. And he actually does that on both of the first F chords. Just a really nice way to give those chords a little bit of something extra. Just makes them move a little bit more, makes them kind of feel a bit more natural. Then he does this in his left hand. Did you spot that, what he did there? So he actually kind of preempts the F chord. He goes just at the end of the bar. So if I show you it really slowly, if I go from there, so I'm just going from the walk up from the C to the D minor 7 to the C over E here. So we go C, F, then plays the octave, and it just kind of, it's almost like a little bass fill. Yeah, it works so well. It just gives the music that extra little kick. I love those kind of things. It just really helps vary it up. He actually does it both times through the groove. So when he does that double walk up, he does it there as well. I'm going to have a go at playing this through with the track, right? This is something I do a lot of, by the way. Whenever you play along with a full song and actually a real life band, these are some of the most incredible session musicians in the world. You're playing along with them and you're kind of embodying the rhythm and the groove and the feel that they're playing. It really helps improve your overall musicianship. I'm going to have a go at doing that now. Be one of the most uplifting songs of all time. So much fun. Give this one a go, it's so good. One of the things about being a session musician, you have to have really great ears, which means you're able to listen to a song, work out what's going on, and then work out what the music needs and kind of complement the music. That's kind of what it's all about. And I found this really amazing clip of Clarence talking exactly about this kind of thing. It's brilliant. Check it out.
Getting big ears was easy. It was in the church. You started out there. Sister Johnson started singing Amaze. By the time she got to Maze, you better found her key and be playing a chord, or else she's looking back at you saying, what's wrong with him? So you learn to listen because that's the only way you can learn.
It's such a great point, isn't it? I mean, not all of us have had that apprenticeship-style learning experience in church, but the fact still remains, it's all about listening. And that is the prime skill of a session musician. Listen to what's going on. What does the music need? How am I going to add to it? And this is obviously what Clarence does, he's incredible. Of course, this is I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, released in October 1969, one of the most famous Motown tracks of all time. Now, Clarence was part of the Wrecking Crew, which is a legendary group of studio musicians based in LA who are responsible for creating the sound behind so many hits in the 60s and 70s. They were also known as the First Call Gang, basically the musicians you hired if you wanted to record a song, and they just sit in the studio day after day recording hit after hit. Now, for this particular song by the Jackson 5, there were actually 4 different piano players listed. You've got Joe Sample, Phonce Mizell, Freddie Perrin, and Clarence McDonald. So I'm not 100% sure whose hands actually played the riff, but we're going to learn it anyway because it is an absolute classic. So this one's in A flat. There's our A flat major scale, and we're going to be playing everything in octaves in both hands. Okay, it's got a really beefy sound. Let's give this a go. So I'll break down the pattern. There's the first part. I'll do that again. A little bit slower. And it's important to get the rhythm here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is, okay? So that B in the middle, it comes in on the last 16th of beat 3. This is all written out for you in that PDF lesson book, so do go ahead and grab that. 2, 3. And then it continues up. Okay, there's a lot there. I'll do that a little bit slower. One more time, a bit faster. And then the last bit is, it's got ends on a 2-5-1. 2-5-1. There it is, okay. I'll play you the whole thing through. 2, 3. 2, 3. And then it does it again, it loops. Such a great riff. I mean, it's one of those riffs that if you hear it, you can't possibly not know what song it is. It's just one, it's like in everyone's kind of, it's in everyone's musical memory. It's just incredible. Let's give this a go with the track. I love that guitar. So funky. Then it repeats. So good. Woo. don't know this track already, it's called Your Smiling Face by James Taylor, released in 1977. Clarence is on piano for this one, and I've actually found a really great little clip where James Taylor's talking about working with Clarence in the studio. Check this out.
A piano player named Clarence McDonald was instrumental, no pun intended, in the way that track came out.
And what does that mean?
Well, he played that da 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 da, that sort of happy Munchkin song, you know.
I mean, I'm not quite sure why it's a Munchkin song, but if anyone knows, drop it in the comments. But it's such a cool little riff that just kind of fills those gaps. It works so well. Okay, let's have a look at this in detail. We're in the key of E. There's our E major scale. E major has 4 sharps, okay? It's got an F sharp, a G sharp, a C sharp, and a D sharp. So all of our chords are going to kind of be coming from that scale. And I'm going to go right the way back to the beginning of the song. It's got this really cool introduction over a sus chord. So the beginning goes... That's the kind of lead in with the left hand. Again, we're using octaves. And it's over this chord, A over B. It's like a big sus chord in the key, a big 5 chord. A over B. So you hold that for a bar, and then at the end of the bar, you re-articulate the left hand. See that, just like that. And then we do exactly the same thing again. And then it's got this beautiful little piano fill, which is just great. It's another like little split triad. Sounds so good. We're actually just using a regular E major triad here. But all he's doing is he's going from the F sharp, which is the second. Sounds very kind of country, doesn't it? Really, really nice. So I'll just play you that intro so you can see it all the way through. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Play the fill. And then you're into the verse. Now the verse is really interesting because it uses what we call a descending bass line. Check this out. Now that looks like a lot of chords, right? But it's simpler than it looks. Our left hand is just descending down the major scale. Check this out. That's all it's doing. Rather than going to the E at the very end, it just goes back up to a B. But other than that, it's just the major scale going downwards. And in our right hand, we're using the main chords from the keys. Let me break down each one. It goes E, then to B over D sharp, and then it's C sharp minor 7. But you can see we're just holding that E triad in our right hand. E over B, A over G sharp, and then we actually push in our right hand. There we go. Down to the F sharp minor 7, and then to the A over B. Okay, there is quite a lot in there. Again, it's all in that lesson book. Do you notice that little push in our right hand there on that A chord? That's so important. Again, that little push it gives the groove a little kick along. Check it. Whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself. There's that push in our right hand just before we play that F sharp there. So cool that. And then we go up to an A over B, because and then we're into the Munchkin bit that James Taylor was talking about. So it looks like this. I'll just play it right hand on its own. There it is, okay. I'll do it a little bit slower. You can see at the beginning, we're just moving between a B and an E triad, which is E is chord 1, obviously we're in the key of E, and B is chord 5. So you're really moving between 5 and 1, and it's a really cool sound. It's a little bit like Hill Street Blues, you know, that intro. Yeah, anyway, you'll probably recognize that sound from there. That's all that's going on. It then goes on to the F sharp minor 7. And you can see we've just tweaked that B that was there. We've now moved that down to an A in our right hand. So you've got... There it is. There's that end of that phrase. I'll just do that last bar again because it's got a little bit more in it, that one. there. It's a lot in it, isn't there? You can see it's quite intricate. It's not just a case of kind of playing these chords and sort of going through the motions. Those little pushes, those little kind of phrases, they just really add to the music. They add so much. Let's have a go at playing the whole thing through with the track. Let's give it a go. Same again. Little Phil.
Whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself because I love you. Yes, I do. When you give me that pretty little pout, it turns me inside out. There's something about you, baby, I don't know.
This is where the song changes. Goes through so many chords. I could do a whole tutorial on this song. It's absolutely brilliant. I've been watching so many different clips of Clarence McDonald's interviews over the past few weeks while I've been putting this video together. And I stumbled across this really nice little clip where he's just doing a little candid interview by the piano. And he just says something really interesting about ego, and which I think is such an interesting topic. Check this out.
Yeah, if you start believing your own press clippings, you're in for a big fall.
And isn't that what you're talking about when it comes to ego? When you start relying on your old hits and you're not creating anything new, that's when the ego comes in?
Oh, it does. It does, and it will hurt you. If you're not willing to go back to the bottom of the mountain and start walking up again, then you're going to get caught on a plateau. Because as soon as you get to the top of the mountain, you got to go down to get to the next mountain, which you've got to go up. So that's just really the way it is. No matter how big you think you are, you're coming off that plateau and you're going to go right back down on the other side of a mountain and start up another one.
I mean, you can apply that to so many things in life. You can apply it to piano playing as well. You know, we each have these little breakthroughs on the piano. You know, we might make little bits of progress, but then you know what? There's another mountain to climb as well. There's other things to learn. I think it's just such a beautiful quote to end on. Yeah, amazing. Thanks so much for watching this video. It's been slightly different to usual, this video. I'm trying to diversify things a little bit on the channel, okay? I want to kind of bring in some new kind of styles of content, and I think this could work really well where I delve into different players. If you're interested in seeing more of that style of content, drop a comment down below and let me know. I'm always interested to hear what you all want to learn and what you find really useful. Don't forget to grab that free PDF lesson book as well. It's got all of those grooves written out for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.